Born with a passion for acting, Will Friedle grew up in Avon, Connecticut, and made himself known in the early years of Nickelodeon on the hit show Boy Meets World.
Are you doing anything right now?
No.
Well, then you're gonna want to get these.
Will has found himself behind the voices of many iconic and unique characters throughout his career and took some time to have a chat with us at Replay while at Supanova convention in Brisbane.
How are you going?
Great, doing really well, thank you.
Are you enjoying Supanova so far?
Absolutely amazing. The people here are so friendly, and they just they embrace nerddom, which is my favorite thing in the world, because that's what I do, so I love it. I don't do anything small when it comes to being a nerd. You know, if I'm going to read a fantasy novel, I'm going to read 12. I love this stuff.
What got you into the line of work that you're into? Like, was it when you were young you started getting into it, or?
Yeah, I started acting professionally when I was 10. You know, just something that I loved, and was lucky in my career. By 12, I was on a show on Nickelodeon, and by 16, I got a show called Boy Meets World, which was big in the States. Yeah. And then I started doing voiceovers. They were auditioning for a new show called Batman Beyond, and Bruce Timm, who created the show, his wife was a big Boy Meets World fan and said, you should audition Will. So that's how it started, and I've been in that side of the business ever since.
That's it. You're showing me everything.
Did you find yourself doing a lot of funny voices when you were a kid? Were you that kind of like a class clown, or?
I was definitely the class clown. It wasn't really voices. I mean, some, yes. What I remember most is my grandfather telling me stories and him doing funny voices for me. Yeah. It's funny, as I'm getting older, I look back at it, I didn't realize how important that was in my life until, now I'm 41, and I'm starting to kind of remember what that's like. So it was interesting to kind of hear his voice again and go, oh God, he used to do that all the time. So that was cool.
So what's the process involved in creating a voice for you? Do you have to work with like a lot of the production team, or is it you bring ideas to the table? And
it's both. Usually you audition, so you book the role. That's the one thing that I really love about our side of the industry is it doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter, it's just your voice is going to work or it's not. It's not the same kind of on-camera world. You usually get a photograph of the character you're going to play, and then you'll sit there with the director and the producers, and it's called setting the voice. And so they'll say, okay, he's a superhero. Okay, well, no, he's only 15. Oh, okay. And so you've got to kind of work. He's small. He's weak. He's strong. So all the kind of different parameters you get then really help to set the voice.
Is there a voice that you've hated doing? Absolutely.
Interesting question. If I hated doing a voice.
If you're allowed to say.
No, and I would say, I'm one of those people where it's like, I definitely say, no, it's the greatest job in the world. So even voices that might not be your favorite, you never walk out hating something. You just don't. It's too much. It'd be like saying, is there ever a Lego thing you've built that you hated? It's like, even the ones that are frustrating, you're still playing with Legos, so it's like, no, the answer is no. I've never hated anything I've done. I've liked certain performances more, but hated.
Which one do you think you've liked the most?
Again, because it was my first ever role, it's hard to beat Terry McGinnis in Batman. But again, I've been Green Lantern, I've been Deadpool, I've been Lion-O, I've been, Star-Lord, Bumblebee. They're just kind of one after the other, so it's hard to pick one, but I've always said being able to tell a woman that you're Batman and not lying about it is pretty cool. So that's one that I'll take with me. Yeah.
You're pretty strong for some clown who thinks he's Batman.
I am Batman.
How does it feel, like walking down the street, something like that, realizing that you've probably spoken in the ears of, all the people you've walked past and they don't even know it?
Wow, until you ask that question, I've never been asked that question. I don't think I've ever realized that before. That's really cool, actually, now that you put it that way. That's really cool. It's strange, I guess. It's also one of those things when we're doing it, you never realize the effect it's going to have until you do it, and then it comes out, and then you start getting, when people are coming up to me at the table and pointing at the Ron Stoppable picture and going, Kim Possible, that was my childhood. Stuff like that is really cool.
Definitely part of mine.
So stuff like, and then as I'm signing, I'll do the voice. So I'll go like, to Bob, booyah, and they're like freaking out. And you don't realize it as you're in the booth how important that is. So it's a ton of fun.
Wow, well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
You
awesome.
too. Thank you.